Okay. Table we call it as object. Getting my
Okay.
point?
Yes, yes.
Fields, then records.
Okay.
Okay, columns are called as fields and tuples rows are called as records. Same concept. Can you see my screen here?
Record.
Slide. Objects. You see now? In
Yes,
database,
yes.
we call it as table,
Table, column,
and rows.
rows,
In Salesforce, we call it as
Salesforce,
table is called as
object,
object, we call it as field,
fields, and records.
Java we call it as class.
Class, attributes, instances.
Understood? Now, my first step in Salesforce is okay, we are not working on database, we are not learning Java, but what you are learning?
Salesforce.
Salesforce. So,
Salesforce.
create objects, create
Object
fields,
fields.
you need to create records.
Records.
That's the first step of building blocks of Salesforce. Understood? Clear?
Yeah.
Shall I move on to the next topic?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, actually, I have already written it. I'll share you this document for your notes. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm the whatever the
I was just
PowerPoint.
thinking, where did I have written that? Should I have written okay? Okay. Understood now? Clear? Now, let us talk about fields first. Talk objects later in Salesforce. Let us talk about Salesforce fields. Okay. In Salesforce, there are two types of fields: standard field, custom field. What do you mean by standard field? System generated. System generated fields. What do you mean by custom? Customer means what?
Customer. We.
Or programmer created fields. Got my point? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you create an object, okay. Again, there are two types of objects here. Okay, two types of objects. One is called as standard object. Second one is called as a custom object. Again, same. Standard object is nothing but created by
System.
okay, and customer object is created by customer. Can we identify which are the standard objects and which are the customer objects in our R? What here are? You see, charter, accounts, contacts, cases. These are all called as standard objects. The objects which are created by Salesforce. The objects which are already created by Salesforce. Okay. When I click on create, you see these are all our custom objects. Click on custom accounts. Okay. So this is your custom object.
Okay.
For example, if I click on leads, okay. So when I click on here, these are the fields. Can you see it? Field label, field name. These are all our standard fields. Because the object itself, which object? Lead object. Lead is an object which is a standard object that is created by Salesforce. So obviously it has what? It has its own standard fields. Standard fields are nothing but the fields which are created by the Salesforce. And also it also has custom fields. Can you see? Can you see? Okay.
Yeah.
Now identify a custom field and a standard field. A standard field will have a normal name, whereas your custom field will have an API name like this: current generations __C. Okay, and API is called as application programming interface. Okay, it's a library. It's in a when you create a custom field, okay, an API will get created. A unique ID or a unique name gets created for that particular field. Can you see? And it is represented as generators underscore underscore C. Primary underscore underscore C. Product interest underscore underscore C. Code. But whereas your this field name has what? Address. That's no, there is no underscore underscore C. Why? Because it's a standard field. And whereas
Standard.
these are called as your custom fields.
Custom.
This is your standard objects. Which are those objects? Your leads, campaigns, accounts, sorry, opportunities. These all are here. So when I click on opportunities, click on fields, opportunity fields. Again, it also has some custom fields. Got it?
Yeah.
Now, in Salesforce, okay, so there are, okay, any object that you create, okay, any object that you create, accounts, contacts, or any object that you create, new object that you create, okay. When I click on create object, okay, when I click on new custom object, okay, so what it says is, okay, there are 7 types of the standard fields, okay. That's what see standard fields are nothing but system generated upon object
Object.
creation. Custom fields are developer defined or developer created. Okay, so it has 7 fields will get created whenever you create a standard object or a custom object. Okay, there are 7 fields that system will get generated, standard fields for any object. Okay, now what are those 7 fields? Can you see ID, name, owner, created by, created date, modified by, modified date. Whenever you create
Custom
any
one.
okay, whenever you create any object, whether it is a custom object or a standard object, okay, whenever you create a custom object or standard object, okay, what happens is uh, there are 7 fields will get created: ID, name, created by, created date, last modified date.
Modified date. Modified by.
Okay, now we'll see one by one
7.
what are these particular IDs. Okay, now standard fields ID. Okay, standard fields ID. There is an ID which gets created. Okay, whenever you create a field, okay, an ID, unique ID will create it. What is this unique ID? It's a uniquely locates each and every record. Okay, and it is signed, indexed, and not updatable. Interview question.
Okay.
System assigned, indexed, and not updated. Okay, and there are 2 types of keys which gets created: 15-digit case sensitive, 18-digit case insensitive. Okay, so we'll see in deeper what do you mean by 18-digit case sensitive and 15-digit case sensitive. Okay, normal object IDs are 15 characters, look something like the following, like this: 011, like this. You want to see the ID? Go to your Salesforce. Okay, when I click on accounts, okay, when I click on accounts, when I click on accounts, I click on a particular record. When I click on record, can you see in the address bar?
Yes.
I counted, this will be 15 digit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Counted. This is called as your 15 digit case sensitive. Everything, whatever you create in Salesforce, whether you create an object, whether you create a feed, whether you create record, whether you create a approval, whether you create a workflow, whether you create anything, okay, an ID gets generated for it. So this record ID is unique to this particular record.
Hmm.
You got my point? Okay. Now
Mm.
I'll click on setup. Okay. I'll create an object. Okay. I'll explain you all these things. No worries. Okay.
Mm.
Click on this samples. When I go to setup, when I go to create, when I click on objects, can you see your sample object got created? When I click on this,
Yes.
this is your object got created. Okay. Can you see the ID for sample object?
So it gets created automatically, right?
Automatically, yes. You create anything, object or anything, it gets created.
Okay.
Okay. And we discussed, right? ID, right? ID is your 15 digit.
Yes,
Similarly,
okay. Then what about the
Yes.
18
we
digit?
create case sensitivities. Not case insensitive. I'll tell you what is in the case insensitive. Can you see ID name owner created date last modified date, right? So when I
Yes.
created the object, name got created.
Yeah.
It is a
Sample.
custom object. No, that is why it is showing underscore C.
Mm.
Okay,
You
who
customer.
created by last modified by owner of the record. Okay, then what is that? Created by and modified by.
Mm.
Got it? See, ID, name, owner, created by, created date, modified by, modified date, content. Okay, owner is there, last modified is there, created by is there, modified by is there, and your name is there. These are the 7 standard fields. Can you see the standard fields here?
Mm.
Got it?
Yeah.
So who created? So it is this particular object is created by Pavni, but who modified? It is modified by Monica. So these are the one standard field. Okay, then standard field name. Okay, so a name is nothing but a short description of the name. Okay, it has indexed required mandatorily. Okay, and data type is text or auto number. Like when I'm creating that, I have used this text and auto number. Do you remember? Then your owner, standard field owner. Where is your owner field here? Who is the owner for this particular one?
Pavani.
The owner? Pavni is the owner who created this particular record. No, sorry, object. Okay, but we'll talk more about owner when we discuss about profiles and users and queues. Okay, similarly, we'll also have the other fields like created by, last modified by, nothing but a reference to the user who created the record. Last created by is a reference to the user who last modified the record. Created date, the date and time that the record was created. Last modified date, the date and time that the record was last.
Mm.
All these 7 fields. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
These are 7 fields. Okay, you need to remember this. It's an interview question.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about your standard fields. Okay, I'll stop it here because I need to rush to the office now. It's already 7:15. If you guys can join early, just check with Navya. Okay, we can start at 6 o'clock itself. Okay, if you guys are available, then we'll talk tomorrow about your what do you call custom fields and custom objects. Understood?
Yeah.
These are things that we have discussed today. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about custom fields and custom objects, and I'll make you to create some objects as well.
Okay.
Okay, understood up to here? What was covered?
Yes.
or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, understood.
So keep that org like that. Okay, don't change the password or username. Okay.
Okay.
So then we will work extensively on that. I'll give you some homework also tomorrow
Okay.
to work. Okay. So once you do that, then we'll proceed with further topics.
Okay.
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 Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Just
Thank
check with Navya. Okay. If you guys are available a little bit early, we can start at 6 o'clock. Okay. And we can end it up at 7. Okay. Because you are saying 8:45 right now there, right?
you. Yes.
Now I think now